So here's the thing. There is a good side and a bad side to these. But neither one is really bad. It's just where they give themselves, when they're making it, maybe one side is where they can put putty in it, things like that, and it's still okay for some people. On this one, the stickers are usually on the bad side. Almost every single one I've ever seen. So that's why you saw me kind of double taking, because the side that's supposed to be bad with the sticker is the good side. It's going to be pretty cavernous in this small teardrop, so there's a lot more room for error, or there's a lot less for you to look at, so you're going to notice. So we have taken our time to put both of the good sides sandwiched together. And now, I think I'm gonna make sure that I've got these, remember, squared up. Okay? And they feel pretty square. Maybe a little more down here. Okay. Close, very close, very close. We got a lot of bike riders out here. Guys always riding bikes. I don't know, Curly doesn't like it. Fortunately, he's not out here today, so it's none of his business. So if you hear some random yapping about bikes and tires and things, that's what that is. Okay, let me see if I can pull. Okay. Okay, as I said, it has to be a 4x8 sheet, right? That's a 4x8 sheet. That metal, I'm doing so bad, is 4x8 as well. Let me shut this off, turn it around, and let's talk about a couple of things that I see. Can you see? Take a good look. Let me take you through a couple of the things that I'm seeing. It's really not much different. Same thing we do on a Scotty or a Shasta. No big deal. Of course, obviously, this is a lot of door for a wall. It's only going on one side in this BenRoy because it only came with one. So that's what we're going to recreate. We do have this where they bent down underneath, so that 1/2-inch ply will be somewhat protected, but we are also going to protect it with some protectant of some sort. Now, so we come down here, and then we come up and over, and that is for the running gear. It's going to run down right on the other side of that, probably, like that. And that would be that part there. Come up here, and then to the front. Just so that that can move independently, that it has to happen. Then they have the outside wheel wells, and this is where they attach, and that's why that's really weathered more than the rest of it, obviously. We will not be dealing with any of this action. That will be Ron's doing, he said. Looks like that's probably where a light went, I would guess. Maybe some electric went in there. Who knows? I don't know. We will put it where Ron tells us to put it, wherever it makes sense. So he told me, if you look at this line, he said this is where it screws into the wood. Did you say the wood? Let's look at the, let's see, there's a hole here and here. Okay. That's not far enough to be there to there. Well, and yeah, this is the door side. Okay. But that is probably just going to be for the wall. I'm just talking this through with you guys. I need a little help. So I think that's what will happen here is just like we did carriage bolts here, there's nothing over it. Same thing will happen here. These will go on before the metal. The carriage bolts will. So then there was something on the outside here. There was some sort of bracket added. Okay. Maybe if we look, well, if these are screws, it goes to the outside. So yeah, I'd like to see if maybe we could see if there is any kind of differentiation between where the floor, okay, there's, that could be something. But I don't really see where a difference between the floor and the metal is what I'm really looking for. And I don't know if we're going to get those clues other than this. This is quite possibly, well, I was going to say this is the floor. Yeah, and these could be screwed in here. So this is that the floor? I don't know. I'm going to have to look again. I mean, because the floor couldn't be below here. So this is the floor, and they're coming down that deep. And that's every bit. Well, you know, we got 2 5/8. So the floor starts probably somewhere around here, right? I would think. And goes up. That's going to be our working model. I have a lot of questions, but Ron sent me a lot of pictures, so I'm going to go look at those. And remember, we're going to trace this, and then we're going to take it back 7/8, 3/4 to 7/8, because we're going to build the roof on this one just like we do all of our other campers. All right. Well, you know what I did. Sure, I cut out. That's the front going back to the hatch. Cut out for the wheel wells. And then the other one's just kind of behind it there. We got the old amber shellac on it. Look at that roof. It's crazy. That's 8 foot of roof right there. So it's only 4 feet wide, so we can use the whole 8. So I'm going to let this dry this evening. I'll come back in tomorrow in the morning, and I will cut down my rafters, and I'll get those placed. Thing is, I don't have to worry about a front window. There's no front window. There's no back window. Obviously, when we get to the back here, we've got that hurricane hinge and all that to deal with, but we'll get to that. But I think this will allow me to place this. I had this left over. I think this actually came out of Tracy's Dandy. And Ron saw that, and he said, I wasn't going to put a vent in mine. I said, I never do, but look at that one, would you? He goes, man, that is period correct, and it's beautiful, beautiful shape. He said, I want to put that in there right above the door. So the door is going to be approximately right here. And this 8 foot will come around here and go to, let me back out on you a touch, and it'll go to about right here. And so he wants it centered. Well, actually, he drew me a diagram. Where is it? It's right here. And that comes, it's about centered on the door. It's a little towards the back, but that's where he wants it, and that should get me to do that. And I can put in my bracing. That's all I'm worried about on that, is I want to make sure that I get that braced across there and then marked in there real nice so that it doesn't sag. You know, he's like me. He doesn't want it to sag. He doesn't want it to leak. He doesn't want, you know. So we want to place that and then make it just solid as a rock in there. And we can do that with that measurement. There's where I got. I wanted you to see that so that you're not wondering what in the world did he do when this next video starts.